Gemini, this is Joanna from Tarot with Joanna, here to do another reading. Hello, hello, hello. So Gemini, in today's reading, I'm going to give you two of the Denise Lynn Oracle cards. Going to do a reading and then clarify it. So let us get started. Also, if you would like to join my Facebook group, it's called Tarot with Joanna. We do lives every other Wednesday. So if you, every other week. The schedule might change for this week though, for this month, so because Christmas is coming. So also, if you would like a personal reading from me, don't forget to comment or email me, and I will definitely get back to you. All right, so let's do this. This is going to be for Gemini. Gemini, take what resonates with you and leave the rest. This is for Gemini. All right, here we go. Two cards for Gemini. One more card. Wow. All right. Wow. So you have mystic healer. Healing energy flows through you. Yes, definitely. So just know that, we all have gifts of our own, but, you also have a gift to take care of yourself, to think positive instead of negative. Okay. So really try to use your intuition, use whatever gift that you have, for yourself. You are definitely a healer. You could heal within, you heal people around you just by being there. Really look at that. Okay. You also have taking shelter. The answers are within. I feel like this card always reminds me of the Hermit card because of that little lantern. But I truly do feel that you need to take some time for yourself and really go within and reflect. Okay. Because I feel like you just need to have peace in your mind about things, because you have a lot right now going on. All right, so let's do this. Take what resonates with you, Gemini, and leave the rest. This is going to be for Gemini. Gemini, Gemini, Gemini. One for the current. This is for Gemini. Wow. One for the situation. One for the past or now. Oh, okay. For what's hidden is the Five of Wands. One for the hopes and fears. What you need to do now. What you need to work on. And the outcome. Wow. Okay. You have a lot of cards here that are very, oh my goodness. It's just a lot here that you're going through. And at the end of the tarot deck, you do have the Three of Wands. You're going to definitely move forward. I feel like you have plans that you have plans that you're not really saying about. I also feel like you're waiting on something to come in. Really take care of your finances. Okay. Really focus. Learn how to focus. I also feel like, okay, yeah, let's do this. All right, so let's see what's going on. I'll put this up here. Thank you, Spirit. You start off with the Tower card, Gemini. Things are definitely changing for you. Things are definitely changing for you. You do have the Tower. Things have suddenly changed. Maybe they're just like a lot of things have changed for you, and it's like you're like very overwhelmed about it. You do have the Two of Swords here. The Two of Swords is talking about, you could be making some kind of decision here. I feel like you could be making some kind of decision. I feel like you could be at a crossroads also, trying to figure things out. You have the two. I feel like there is definitely some kind of decision that you're contemplating about, though. You also have the Two of Cups here for the, you have the Two of Cups here for the past or now. The Two of Cups is talking about, there could be some kind of offer coming in. I feel like you need to really, really balance your emotions. Try not to take it out on people. Also, you have the Five of Wands here. The Five of Wands is talking about, really having a lot of frustration, a lot of anxiety, anger, towards something. You have the Judgment card down here for the hopes and fears. Gemini, that they're asking you to, go with the changes that you need to. You are changing, trying to change. you know, so let's see what's going on there. You also have the Eight of Swords here. There's something here that you're not seeing, you know, maybe you don't want to see. Maybe there's something here that you're not seeing or don't want to see or don't want to deal with, because you have the Eight of Swords here, you know, maybe you're don't want to feel your feelings about everything that's been going on. You know, you're very, you're trying really hard to not deal with what you have to deal with. You have the Seven of Swords here for what you need to work on, and you know, gosh, I'm getting a lot here. Um, with the Seven of Swords, I don't know who this message is for though, but you know, try not to be, you know, try not to do anything that's some kind of betrayal or get back at people. Okay, really try not to do that. We'll see what else it says. My goodness, there's a lot here, you guys. What's going on? My goodness, this is very rough for you guys, and I feel a lot here. You have the Five of Swords, and you definitely have a lot of anger. There's definitely a lot here that you're going through. Let's see what's going on, okay? Take what resonates with you and leave the rest. This is for Gemini. And of course, we are in the full moon of Gemini right now, I believe. So that's another thing that could be making you feel all like crazy, okay? So, you know, not crazy, but, you know, like all like, oh my gosh, you know, having all this anxiety, stuff like that. Let's see. Take what resonates with you, Gemini, and leave the rest. This is for Gemini. Why is a Tower here for Gemini? Wow. Okay. So, okay. Okay, so you have the Tower card here twice. I'm going to say this right here. You have one here, you have one here. Same position, same position, same card, okay? So there is going to be a lot of changes, okay? For some of you guys, you need to really look at your finances, okay? You really need to look at your finances closely, and I feel like there's going to be some kind of change in your finances, you know? So you got to be careful with that and how you're doing things and how you're about to do things, you know, like spend on money or whatever. Really be careful, okay? Because there's changes that are going to come through for your finances. I also feel like for some of you guys, you're going to be receiving like some kind of finances, you know, some kind of abundance is here to receive it. I also feel like you could be trying to give something to somebody here. And I feel like, okay, I feel like there's gonna be a lot of things that are going to change for you. So just be aware of that. Very interesting. I feel like you could be helping somebody also with something. But there's a lot of change, okay? So a lot of change. Be careful with your finances. You have the Two of Swords here. And why is the Two of Swords here for Gemini? One more card. Wow, you came into like the Gemini reading, the Gemini moon, full moon. He came into that here. So it's crazy. Okay, so oh my goodness. Okay. So you do have the Two of Swords here. I feel like with the Two of Swords, you are like at a crossroads right now. And I feel like you're like at a standstill, you know. And there's something here about you needing to go within and reflect or clearing your mind about things because you're not seeing things clearly. Definitely at all. You have the Moon card, and the Moon card is talking about, you know, trusting your intuition, you know, really trying to see clearly, and you're not. And it's because, you know, you're very clouded, very disconnected. I'm sorry, disconnected. You know, I feel like you're uncertain about what's going on in your life. I feel like, you know, you're being pulled in different directions, trying to do this, trying to do that. At the same time, you know, you want this, you want that, you know, and I feel like you're being pulled in different directions. And I feel like you really need to take that blindfold off and really see things for what they are, because right now you're very cluttered in your mind. You're very disconnected because, you know, you have the Four of Cups. If you look at the Four of Cups, look at him. He's very, Like he's in his mind a lot. He's thinking about everything that's been happening. Why, why did this happen? Why is this happening to me? You don't understand. It's like you're constantly, looking at yourself. Um, but remember that you are the one that holds these keys. Okay, you are the one. You are the key to this. Okay, so if like, and I'm just gonna put it out there because I feel like if you feel disconnected and you feel like everything is coming down on you and you feel like, okay, um well, I can't think right because, I don't understand why all this is happening to me. you know Clear your mind, go within, because you're definitely looking for some kind of answer, and right now you're not seeing a lot. There's so many things here. This man is at the doorway. He has so many opportunities. He's got a beautiful cup full of, treasure and opportunity for you to just look, but you're so in your feelings. You're like in your feelings. You're like, I can't believe this is happening to me. I can't believe this and that. I can't believe, oh my God, what's going on? You're just like so disconnected that you're not paying attention to it. Okay, because there are opportunities for you, Gemini, but you're just like not paying attention. You're just looking at all these cups that are empty. You're looking at it and you're like, gosh, how could this happen to me? Why? So really go within. Really go within. Try to, meditate. Try to clear yourself. Get away from the tablets or the negativity that's around you. Try to get away from that. You do have the Two of Cups here also. The Two of Cups is talking about, there could be some kind of offer here or a decision that you're about to make. I do feel that there could be some kind of offer. I feel like you really need to balance your emotions also. Try not to get angry or upset about things that are going on in your life, and just keep going on with life. And I do feel like that is now because there could be some kind of offer, and I feel like you need to let other people help you, with whoever is there, you have the Five of Wands here, Gemini. Why is it Gemini Five of Wands here, one more card? All right, so you do have the Queen of Pentacles. You start off with the Five of Wands, the Five of Wands is talking about, frustration, anxiety, just feeling like arguing, like there's arguing around you or you're arguing. I feel like you really need to take it easy. You're the Queen of Pentacles, you know how to make things happen. There is abundance here though, but there is a lot here that you're doing. Like you're a multitasker. You want everything you want to do everything yourself. You want to go make the decisions. You want to cook the dinner. You want to take care of the food. You want to move the everything, get Christmas ready. But what you're not doing is taking it easy. Nurturing yourself, taking care of yourself, being in your feelings like you should be. Paying attention to why you're feeling so frustrated, why you're feeling so angry. And that's what they're saying. Because there's so much in your life right now that you're caring so much about everything that's going on about you, around you, but you're not caring enough for yourself, and that's something that you need. You also have the Page of Swords here, and the Page of Swords is talking about, really be careful on how you're speaking. Really try not to be speaking harsh or, upset, or taking it out on people. Really be careful on how you do that. And really stop jumping to conclusions. Like, I bet you that person did this and that because of this. No. Stop jumping to conclusions. Stop saying that. Stop doing that. Stop thinking like that. Really see the truth in things. Really do your research before you say things or you jump into something. Really do your research, okay? I feel like there's new things trying to come in for you. Feel like there's messages here also, and I feel like, if you get rid of all this, like all this anxiety, all this frustration, I feel like there's opportunities here that you're just not seeing. You're ready for anything that comes your way. You're very strong-willed. You're very, how you speak your truth. But the thing is, you're not doing any of that, and you need to. You have the Judgment card down here for the hopes and fears. And why is the Judgment card here? One more card. You have the Two of Pentacles, and you have the Star card. So, you really want to feel better. You just want things to fall into place. Um, with the Judgment card, I feel like there's been a lot of changes for you that you've had to go through. I feel like you're changing and the world around you is changing, and it's been like hard. It's been hard for you. With the Two of Pentacles here, I also feel like, you're trying to do everything yourself, juggle everything, not letting anybody help you, and I feel like you really need to start taking it easy. I feel like you need to just go with the changes that are going to come in, because you do want to feel better. You want, even though things have changed for you, you need just to accept them and keep going on, okay? Because you want to feel better. You want you want to feel better. They're asking you to that you're going to be regenerated, to keep your faith. If you would just keep your faith and believe that everything's going to fall into place, okay? So really try to take it easy. I do feel like you're going to be making a decision very soon. Also, I feel like you need to balance everything out. Your work, your home, people, how you're feeling, everything. Try to balance everything out, taking care of yourself instead of taking care of everybody. Take care of yourself first before you start doing that. You do have the Eight of Swords here. And why is the Eight of Swords here and what you need to do now? One more card. Wow. All right. All right. So there's a lot of things that you weren't seeing before, There's things that, you wanted not to deal with, but they're asking you to take off that blindfold and really see things for everything. I feel like you have so many feelings right now going on in your mind about what this and about that, and they're asking you to really just leave that behind, because you do have, you all you want is happiness, right? You want happiness, but you don't want to see it either, like, you know there's happiness around you. There's people and things around you, but that's something that, like, you is something that you don't want. Like, okay, I want these people, but I want more. And they're asking you really take that blindfold off, because if you would take it off, you'll see that there are happy times here. There's memories to make. There's, happiness. But you need to take off that blindfold and start dealing with your feelings, start dealing with how things are going. You need to, because without you doing that, you're going to keep being in the same mode over and over, okay? And that's what they're asking you to do, is to look up, to see the positive, to live in the moment, to go with the changes that are coming in, because you need to. You also have the Ace of Wands here, and you're going to be very inspired. This is a new path here, but are you willing to take off that blindfold? Are you willing to go on this new path? Because there is a new path here. There's this new path where it's going to push you forward, where there's going to be happiness. But it's up to you to take off that blindfold, to step forward instead of feeling like, you can't do anything, because you can. You can do a lot if you were to take off that blindfold and start dealing with everything that's going on. You have the Seven of Swords here for what you need to work on. And why is the Seven of Swords here? One more card. You have the Seven of Swords, and then you have the Nine of Swords and the Nine of Cups. So you have the Seven of Swords here. And the Seven of Swords is saying that, there are times when you feel like you were betrayed. There are times that, you have this in your mind, maybe somebody did something to you and you feel like you were betrayed. You feel like you were like backstabbed, or, gosh, you just can't believe that things happen the way they happen, and it's eating you up, And I feel like also too, like for somebody out there, I don't know who this message is for, but I feel like if you're going to try to do something like to be, get back at somebody, it's not going to work out. Okay. And if you're trying to betray somebody or because they did you wrong, it ain't going to work out. I'm telling you right now. So I feel like, I feel like you feel like you've been hurt very deeply, being backstabbed, being, like somebody did you wrong, very bad. And I feel like you're in your mind about a lot of things, You're worried. You're constantly in your mind thinking about the betrayal, thinking about the cheating, thinking about the things that went wrong. And I feel like you really need to let that go. I feel like you need to have gratitude for everything that you do have. You know, have gratitude for everything that you do. Be content with what you do have. Be content for that you're still living, that you're still here in this world, you know, trying to make the best of it. That you still have people around you that care about you, you know, but they want you to be in that mode where you're grateful for everything. Cuz there's a lot of things that you're not seeing, you know. You've accomplished a lot, but yet you don't see that. You're just seeing of everything that has happened that is bad, and they want you to really look at things clearer. Okay, you have the Five of Swords for the outcome, and why is the Five of Swords here? One more card. Wow, good, good. So you started off with the Five of Swords, and there is a lot of anger. There is a lot of anger that you've been going through, but you're gonna be okay. Okay, this is, you keep going, go within, reflect, do what you have to do. You know, you're gonna leave it behind because you do have the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is saying, you know, um, know your value, know your worth, know that, you know what, I don't need to be in this here moping around, being angry, being having all this frustration. You're gonna move forward because you're leaving a lot of things behind. So it's good. And you also have the Chariot card. And for some of you guys, you could be moving or traveling, but for everyone else, I feel like you're just definitely going to be moving forward towards, you know, happiness and success, you know. No matter what, you're just going to moving forward. Wow. This is a very intense reading because, you know, there was so much energy in here, you know, and I know y'all are going through a lot because it's the full moon here and everything, but really know that, you know, no matter what you go through, you know, just push forward, okay? Because these are just chapters in our lives. We can't stay in that mode all the time. You know, our Lord doesn't want us to be angry, doesn't want us to be, you know, payback or anything like that. You know, He wants us to just be in the moment and live life, you know, till you can't anymore. Um, all right, so Gemini, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I will definitely see you next time. God bless.